Last round we travelled to Croydon where AFC Whyteleafe began their FA Trophy campaign in a style that reflected their captivating run in the FA Vase last season. After suffering defeat to Whitstable Town at Wembley last year, it was clear from the first match alone that there's a hunger to right some wrongs this time round. But with promotion last season bringing a new level of cup competition, we want to see if they can rise to the challenge this year. It's cup football, so anything can happen, but today's opponents, on paper at least, offer a good chance for Whyteleafe to pick up where they left off last time round and take one step further to Wembley again. Today we're in Southall for the first qualifying round of the FA Trophy. Southall is famous for its vibrant Southeast Asian culture, earning itself the nicknames Little India and Little Punjab, with it hosting the largest Punjabi community outside of India. And there's a whole host of smells and buildings here that reflect that culture, most notably the Gurdwara Sri Guru Singh Sabha, the largest Sikh temple outside of India. During Diwali and other festivals, the streets are full of celebrations, colour and naturally a load of great food. So if you're from the area and haven't been before, why not join in next month? More traditional to British history, however, we've got behind us the Southall Manor House, which is the oldest building in Southall, boasting beautiful Tudor architecture and dating as far back as around 1500. But we're not here for the food or for the history. We're here to see the football. And much like this manor house behind me, today's opponents have stood the test of time for a long time. Founded in 1871, one of England's oldest clubs, Southall, is set to host AFC Whyteleafe. Well, sort of. Southall currently don't have a ground and ground share with Hayes and Yeading United, but Chairman Sanjeev Sharma plans to open a brand new ground with a community health and wellbeing centre, offering locals training and fitness equipment, health checks and martial arts and boxing sessions. They currently sit bottom of their league, which lies adjacent with Whyteleafe's division in the English football pyramid system after losing all three of their opening games. Whyteleafe have won two and lost one of their opening three and recently got knocked out of the FA Cup, so two consecutive losses for the Leaf isn't the form that they'd like to have coming into this game, but that doesn't stop them from being our obvious favourites. Like I said at the top of this video, it's cup football, so anything can happen. So let's get ourselves inside the ground and find out who we will be following in the next round of the FA Trophy.
Okay, so this week's fun fact is to do with Southall, because that's where we are. As is tradition in a lot of the facts that I present, this one is all about former players. And just so happens that they've got a whole host of former players, fairly famous or very famous. So the likes of Gordon Hill, famous for playing for Man United in the 70s, 60s as well, I think. Colin Viljoen, who played for Ipswich, most of his career for Ipswich, and I think he played a little bit for England as well. Les Ferdinand, probably arguably the most famous, depending on what your age is. Then we've got a great player that I remember from the 80s from West Ham, Alan Devonshire. He was a fantastic midfielder and he did play for England as well. And there was also Justin Fashanu, of course. He played for Southall as well. The most bizarre one, though, is Maxi Priest. Have you heard of Maxi Priest? Never. Maxi Priest, very famous musician from the 80s and 90s. He had hits Close to You and Wild World. It's really bizarre because he actually didn't play for Southall, but his son Marvin played for Southall, and there was one match where they were just majorly short of players, so he stepped in and played for one match. And for that one match, they won 3-0. No, actually they didn't. They lost 3-0, so he never played again. And there's my fun facts.
On the topic of fun facts, eagle-eyed viewers who were paying attention during the montage may have noticed some AFC Richmond stuff located around the stadium. After my dad finished his interesting facts, that was my opportunity to start talking to you about why that is. But I forgot, so here's me telling you now. According to one of the stewards at the ground, this stadium is what they actually use as the training ground in the Ted Lasso series. So for any of you that watch the series, comment down below if you recognise anything, but it's just another one of non-league's many quirks that you find when you ground hopping. Anyway, on with the video. So ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to the ground with surprisingly quite a bit of time. Very nice ground behind us as well for Hayes and Yeading, ground sharing of course with Southall, but I'm just going to show you what we've got behind us. Not you. Unfortunately, a bit of an eyesore with that building, so I think we'll be focusing on what's behind us for this. But we've got FA Trophy action. Our second game following the preliminary round. Now we've got the first qualifying round. It's Southall versus AFC Whyteleafe. And everything to play for. Again, on paper, AFC Whyteleafe are the favourites, but anything can happen. It's whoever turns up on the day, really. Have you got a favourite to go through? Is it too early for a score prediction?
No, never too early. Southall not doing very well, and Whyteleafe are doing okay. So I actually think Whyteleafe are going to win 2-0.
Not the one that we're all holding our breath and waiting for. I mean, I don't know a lot about Southall. This is part of the fun of the FA Trophy Road to Wembley, is discovering all of these non-league teams. But I do know enough about Whyteleafe to feel fairly confident that they're probably going to run away with this. And I'm actually going to go for a 4-0 win. Don't know. Maybe we'll look back on this and laugh at my prediction. But I just think that they're really good side. And from what I see on paper of Southall, they're not. So I'm going to back them quite heavily, quite comfortably to win. And the teams are out today, ladies and gentlemen, for this FA Trophy action. Whyteleafe are favourites for today, but it's Southall, technically the home side today, hoping to upset the odds and prove themselves as the worthy winners to make it through to the next round. And just as expected, people's iPhone alarms going off at 3 p.m. There you go, a live bit of history for you there. Even on my phone it started going off as well, so you can sort of hear that echoing around just before kick-off. And there's yours. And look at that, hot dog and fries and a little treat for half-time. So that's a spoiler in ahead. Look forward to that. All sorted?
Yep.
And we are underway, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, the main man, Ryan Gondo. Goes down, free kick one, lovely stuff. Oh, I thought that had gone all the way through. Oh, great defending. Oh dear. Oh, good hands from the keeper. It's been a pretty flat first half so far. I think Southall, to be fair, have actually really surprised us in terms of they've not been trounced. Actually, possibly even edged this first half so far in terms of the better side with the most chances. But neither side really have had anything clear cut. No one's really tested the goalkeeper. Still waiting for it to spark into life at the moment. But again, still plenty of time. But I'm not feeling overly optimistic for a goal before half time at this point. Oh my word, I thought that was in. I've just recognised a familiar face in that team, number 6, Owen Fraser, former Red Hill captain. Had no idea, 1, he was playing for Southall, and 2, I didn't know he was playing today. What are the chances of that? Well, there you go. I think, sorry Whyteleafe, I know we're supposed to be supporting you today, but I think we found our new team that I want to win. Come on, Owen. Oh, what a save. Brilliant goalkeeper. It seems to have hurt him as well. I thought he was trying to waste time, but fantastic save. Great amount of power behind that shot. How's that stayed out? Brilliant save again. Now it's sparking into life. And just as I say that, it's comical timing as you can get. It is half time. And best couple of chances there of the half, right at the end of it. But it is 0-0 at half time. In a half that really didn't have a lot to talk about. I think the highlight for us really, or for me at least, is seeing Owen Fraser. I wasn't expecting that, but what have you made of the first half?
Yeah, it didn't have a lot going for it that first half, except, well, 2 fantastic saves by Whyteleafe's goalkeeper at the end. The other thing is, Southall, apologies, because we wrote you off at the beginning, and actually you've been the better side, in my eyes, by far. But also I think Whyteleafe have been a bit disappointing, attacking wise especially, that I don't think there's been that much urgency. I'd like to think and hope that in the second half they'll go for it a bit more, because I think they've just been trying to soak up what Southall have to offer, and maybe they'll come on a lot stronger in the second half. But they're better because they're not looking the side that we have been used to seeing in the past. So let's see what the second half brings.
Yeah, I think the headline really of that half is Whyteleafe weren't as good as we were expecting, and Southall were better than we thought. So there's not really much else to add, in all honesty. Yeah, a few fantastic saves from the Whyteleafe goalkeeper. I think for me, Southall probably edged that half. And do you know what? If we see Owen Fraser on the score sheet at full time, I'll be very, very happy. Obviously, we're following Whyteleafe, but it's hard for me to see him and not back him, so I'd like to see him do well, but whatever happens, we just want to see some goals. When we go to certain places, we like to try out the local delicacies. Now, Southall being Little India, Little Punjab with the nicknames, there's a lot of Indian street vendors and street food that you can pick up. So I thought something that I've tried before is gulab jamun. For those of you that don't know, it is a dessert, and it's very sweet, it's very nice. You've never tried it, have you?
I've never tried it, no.
Okay, so this is what they look like. They are literally just some little Indian desserts. But you are going to go first. You're going to try some as you've never tried them before. We're going to see what you think.
Okay, so quite heavy. A bit like a rum baba, but does it taste like a rum baba? It has a texture of a rum baba, but it didn't taste like a rum baba. Quite nice, actually. It's nice,
isn't it?
Yeah, but not as sweet as I thought it was going to be. But then, having said that, if you have 2 more of these, I think it would be a bit too much.
Myself, on the other hand, I know exactly what I'm walking into here, and do I go all in one? Not very sophisticated, but I love it. It's really nice. If you've never tried one before, you can get them in supermarkets. Genuinely, really nice. But like my dad said, you could not have more than 2 without it being too much. But if you've got a sweet tooth, knock yourself out. I think they do them in cans. Either way, very nice. Thoroughly enjoyed. Love a bit of that Southall. And we're back underway for the second half, ladies and gents. Hold your pint, 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 hold your pint. Great challenge. Oh! It's nice. Oh! Okay, it's all kicking off. A lot of shouting going on, a lot of pointing fingers. Reports of stub marks on his leg. Someone said blood. Not entirely sure what's going on, but it all lies in the hands of the referee right now. Not sure how clearly you could see that on the screen there, but the goalkeeper pulled his shorts up and you can just see this horrible stub mark on his leg. I've sort of missed the contact really. If I've got it, I'll replay it over now as I'm talking, but it looks nasty. It's hard to say without seeing the actual challenge whether it's a foul or not, but play goes on and we are where we are. Oh, I think Owen Fraser might be going off injured, which is not the ending that we wanted to see from him. He's put in a shift today, to be fair. He's done really, really well at this level. Obviously a step up from where he was before with Fleet and Red Hill, but no, nice to see him out playing. Just hope it's nothing too serious. Again, it's another half and another non-event really. It feels quite harsh to say, but there's just not a lot really going on. There's not really been any chances. We had the little sort of scuffle earlier. It's been really quiet, really dead. We need someone to try and spot this game into life, but I have a horrid feeling it might be going, well, it's heading towards 0-0 and penalties at this point. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Can someone steal the show? As I say, there's still time for that to change. Oh my God! So close. Chance of the half, just goes begging. Go on! Oh, he just got under it slightly too much. And that's full time, ladies and gentlemen, which means we are going to penalties. Not a particularly enthralling game, not the most exciting fixture that we've been to in our lives. The last few minutes, we had a couple of chances, but I mean, that being said, it's been a pretty dull game, to be honest. I wouldn't say that any team have necessarily stolen the show or deserved to win. I think those first half chances that we saw from Southall were probably the best that we've seen. A good chance as well for Whyteleafe late on in that half as well, headed just over the bar. But Southall probably edged the first half, Whyteleafe probably edged the second half. I think it's fair, 0-0, not particularly interesting, but what is interesting is the penalty shootout that's going to come. Where's your hat lying at the moment?
Well, it's anyone's in terms of the penalty shootout, always is, but I think actually they just both cancelled each other out during that match. I think possibly conditions played a little bit in that, maybe because it has been blustery all afternoon, and particularly even now, which might even play a part in the penalties. So yeah, disappointing in terms of a spectacle, but hopefully an interesting end to it with the penalties. Who doesn't like a penalty shootout?
Who do you think is going to win?
Whyteleafe 2-0.
I'll see what happens with that. I am actually going to back Whyteleafe as well, only because it's a case of whose goalkeeper is going to turn up. Their goalkeeper, the Whyteleafe goalkeeper, was particularly exciting to watch. He made some really good saves, so I'm going to back them. But whoever goes through deserves it just as much as the other, to be honest. It's, as I say, not been the most exciting of games, but let's see what happens in the penalty shootout. And the first penalty of the shootout is into the back of the net. It's the man Ryan Gondo. Nice, never any doubt. Well in, Ryan. Okay, interestingly, their goalkeeper is taking the second penalty. Mind games or My Football Manager tactics? That's not a joke, by the way, but this is interesting. Oh, and it's saved. It's backfired. I don't know what was being thought there. Bold tactics, overconfidence from the keeper, who knows, but he's missed his penalty. Advantage Whyteleafe. Oh, the stutter had me worried, but he converts, and it is 2-1 Whyteleafe after 2 each. Oh, keeper got a hand to it, but it's in. And Southall needed that. They desperately needed that. Oh, that's a great pen. Whyteleafe keep their lead, and the pressure is back on Southall for the next one. Oh, and again the keeper gets a hand to it, but it just gets through to the back of the net. Oh, converted nicely again. These have all been really cool, collected penalties from, to be fair, every taker, but Whyteleafe in particular. And at present, it is the goalkeeper of Southall whose penalty is letting his side down. But it all comes down to this now. He almost scored earlier, but if he misses now, it's over. Finds the back of the net. And now, to win it for Whyteleafe. And it's saved. You had a feeling that was coming, and that has blown this penalty shootout wide open. Anyone's for the taking now. It's sudden death. Calmly collected and finds the back of the net. Oh my God, it's over. And against all of the odds, it's Southall that go through and they win. It's a terrible penalty, hardly a run-up at all. And by the end of it, it's the goalkeeper's penalty miss that we thought was going to cost them that has ended up. His heroics in goal have helped them. Well, like we said at the beginning, whoever goes through on penalties deserves it just as much as the other team, but you can't help but feel like a goalkeeping performance like that, particularly in the penalty shootout, getting as many hands to it as he did, you feel like perhaps they deserved it more. But I stand by what I said earlier, and it's a lottery. Penalties is a lottery, and you never know where it's going to go. But what we do know is it will be Southall that we're following in the next round. We thought it was going to be Whyteleafe for a while. I was overly confident, and I apologise to Southall for my prediction at the beginning because really underestimated you. That's it though. Whyteleafe's cup dream are over, and we are on to Southall in the next round of the FA Trophy. So that is that. Southall, the team that we're following. Owen Fraser, the man that we're following. That's nice. We've really enjoyed following Whyteleafe, actually. Both, I think, a little bit disappointed. It's weird because when you follow a team for a few rounds, we normally get that feeling where we feel a bit, we were just getting settled. And even though we've only had 2 games with Whyteleafe today, we had the Vase last year, obviously the whole excitement with the end of the title race last year. So Whyteleafe have been a team that have been very much on our radar for a long time now. But what did you make of the game today? And are you excited about following Southall? Bit disappointed about Whyteleafe? Let me know your thoughts.
Disappointed about Whyteleafe, yeah, because I think we thought that we'd probably have them for 2 or 3 rounds at least, based upon what we know from before and what we saw in the last round. So disappointed about that, but quite excited about Southall actually. Obviously with Owen signing for them, so that's really good. And also, it wasn't a great game today, but they were so much better than we gave them credit for. And I think you've apologised already, so I'll apologise as well. So well done to Southall for their performance. So yeah, it's I'm just looking forward to the next round really. Next round draw. Always look forward to the next round draw and see who they're going to come up against. I wouldn't mind coming back to this stadium. I like the stadium. It's really nice ground. So yeah.
Yeah, I think on the topic of the stadium, I think the only downside is it's a bit tricky to get to the bar, isn't it? You have to go out to come back in, but we'll remember that for next time if it's a home game. Other than that, yeah, lovely ground, lovely team, and yeah, I don't know, it's a weird one. I really enjoyed watching Whyteleafe, which I never thought I'd say as a Red Hill fan. That's probably blasphemous. You never see me again at the Kilnbrow because I'll get murdered the next time I come back for saying what I just said. But no, great team, all jokes aside. Huge fan of the goalkeeper as well, Georgie Boy, who came over. He said he watches this channel as well, so I hope you're watching this one, mate. I'll be keeping my eye out for that comment. Ryan Gondo as well. I mean, it's cool. You don't realise who watches and who doesn't watch. It's a really nice one. So really enjoyed our time watching Whyteleafe. It's a shame that it's come to an end, but this is part and parcel of the journey. Game itself, as I've already said, it was a bit drab, wasn't it? And penalties to decide it. It's a lottery. But here we are, and there we will be for the next round. The second qualifying round, I believe it is, for the FA Trophy. We will be following Southall, whether it's home or away, so Owen will see you there, and any Southall fans will see you there as well, if you don't kick us out the stadium for our predictions. Thank you very much for joining me today. It's double weekend over and done with.
What bumper weekend we've had.
Yeah, big time. But yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care as always. The FA Trophy Road to Wembley continues. Peace and love.